Hello friends and enemies, it's me Isabel here with a fun video where I'm exposing myself. And this is a safe space. We are not going to judge, critique, any of that. We're just going to have a discussion about how much money we spend as book people on book things. So one caveat here is I do have a lot of library cards that I do utilize. I did not include physical manga purchases. That is not part of this list. I have no interest in tracking that. But also I didn't include digital manga or comics purchases in this list yet. I am happy to do so at the end of the year because honestly those numbers aren't that big when broken down to monthly. They vary wildly. I also didn't include subscription service costs. So like I have Scribd and I have KU, but I usually pick up KU when it's on sale. So Kindle Unlimited, if you're unfamiliar, is KU. So I didn't include those. I'm happy to do so next year if we're curious. I can find a way, but I did count how many books I got free each month and what I read. So we're gonna run through the 124 books I've purchased since January all the way up to the end of September because it's too early in October to count. And I have this spreadsheet I made where I track everything for this. And if you want the spreadsheet, let me know. I guess I can link it. I don't know if anybody wants a copy of it. I made this whole spreadsheet that I'm tracking and it's really interesting to see these numbers like in my face. And I've had some learnings in gathering this data. So we're gonna go through the month by month breakdown first and then we'll talk like full numbers. So let's kick this off with January. In January, I bought 5 books. I read 3 of those books and I spent $31.97. And then I read 8 books from the library and saved $107.45. In February, I bought 21 books. 3 of them were free. I read 6 of them and I spent $98.91. This is a month that had an Audible sale, so I did go a little wild. We'll talk about that later. I did get 5 books from the library, which saved me $76.07. In March, I bought 12 books. 8 of them were free. I read 1 of them and I spent $17.96. Yeah. I got 4 books that month from the library for a total of $71.80. In April, I bought 5 books. 1 of them was free and I read 1 of them. And I only spent $12.96. Not terrible. Then I got 5 books from the library, which saved me $79.42. Then we have May, where I bought 8 books. 3 of them were free. I only read 1 of them and I spent $45.99. I read 7 books from the library that month though, and that was for a total of $133.85. So not bad. Then in June, I bought 21 books. 14 of the books in June were free though, okay? So like caveat, this was a Stuff Your Book event, Black authors, I believe, in June, and that is why I got so many. I spent $31.27. I've read 3 of them. And then from the library, I got 7 books, which totaled $99.27. In July, I bought 18 books. 13 of them were free. I spent $18.96 and I read 1 of them. From the library in July, I got 8 books and saved $152.79. Then in August, I bought 17 books. 12 of them were free. One of my favorite authors had a bunch of books free this month to celebrate their writing anniversary, so I got like all of them. Even though a lot of them were in KU, I will still pick up a free book if it is in KU and I want to read it. I read 5 of those books and I spent $36.75. Then from the library, I only got 3 books in August, and that was a total savings of $49.13. In September, I bought 16 books. 3 of them were free. I read 3 of them and I spent $80.12. 13 of those books were audiobooks from the Audible sale. Again, I've noticed a trend very quickly. And from the library, I read 3 books in September for a savings of $43.85. So my total numbers on books here is 124 books total bought. I've spent so far this year $374.79. The list price of all of the books that I bought, if they had not been on sale or free, is $1,187.16. So that's pretty wild. The library has saved me this year $813.63. So that's really good. Then to break this down a little more, I have read 19% of the books I've purchased this year. and 34% of the books purchased have been audiobooks. So I'm definitely like, I have an audiobook buying problem, but it's fine. And the average cost per book this year for me is currently at $3.02. So not terrible. I'm averaging about 10 books a month bought and only reading 2 of them. That's a problem. Obviously we're still missing months data, but that's a problem. One big thing that I've noticed is I am a sucker for free books from an author I want to try. And that those Audible sales are awful. I need to stop. I think that the Audible sales need to become a like, I'm going to read this in the next 2 weeks or the next month for me to justify them, because I will just sit there and pick up all of these books by an author I haven't read, like a whole series, and want to read them and not get to them. I think I would be better off spending my Audible credit or Libro FM credits to do that than buying these books on sale, because I think I would save more money over time. Yeah, I have a problem, and it's called Audible sales, because I listen to so many of my books, and so many of the indie books I like to listen to are not available anywhere but Audible, which is beyond frustrating, but that's a whole other story. And I have no choice sometimes but to get them on Audible, but I think I would be better off doing the Whisper Sync deals even than I would be doing these Audible sales. Or again, it has to be like 5 books max, because I am not going to get to them apparently. I'm very bad at reading them, I have learned. But I mean, I do feel okay about the fact that like I have saved as much as I have. Like the fact that I have saved over $800 shopping sales makes me feel better. I'm not thrilled that I've almost spent $400 this year, and I am trying to like wrangle that down a little bit next year, because I feel like I need to read more of what I have. And you know, I still have like 20 books checked out on KU, and I utilize my library a lot. Lately, less so. I've not been as good about it the last half of the year, but also this last half of the year has been a mess. But on that note, I think this gave me an idea for something I need to do in the new year. I saw a TikTok a while ago about a reading challenge where for a couple months you don't buy new books and you read what you have, whether that's physicals you own, books already on your Kindle. You can have current library holds if they come in, you could read those, but you're not picking up, placing new holds, etc. And you can also like check out the audio of a book you're gonna read off your device that you already own, and like that doesn't count against you. But I'm thinking about doing a challenge around this. Would you all be interested in joining me, first of all? Yes or no, let me know in the comments. Because I'd be happy to organize a Discord or some sort of chat group somewhere for us for it. And just like support each other, and perhaps January through March next year of just like reading the books we own. I think it would be really beneficial. Also, that would mean no requesting new arcs to those of us who review books, because that is also danger zone. Because we didn't even talk about that. Like I didn't even include arcs in these numbers. We're not, that's a big one. Anyways, that is everything I spent. I would love to know in the comments if you are surprised by how much I've spent on books, if you feel like you spend more or less than me on books in a year. Where are you sitting in this like math equation of book spend versus reading? I do believe very strongly, obviously, that collecting and buying books and reading them are 2 different hobbies, but I do that with my manga more than I do with my physical books, since most of my physical reads are books I love, not books I haven't read. There are some, I'm not saying all of them I've read, there are some I have not read, but majority of the books I own are books I have read, not books I haven't read yet and that I like. I'd love to know in the comments. If you don't want to do that, leave me a money related emoji, because this video just made me want to like never buy a book again, which is not true. You know, I'm gonna go buy a book in like 2 days. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, leave me an emoji around money in the comments if you don't want to talk about how much you spend on books a year, and if you have a reading budget, what it is, etc. You know, I think it's also interesting, obviously, like as a content creator, you might think I spend a lot more on books than I do. I don't know. I'm not sure what you would think. So like what that expectation is. But yeah, you can go and do that in the comments, and I will have links to be my friend anywhere on the internet, and I will be back in the new year to talk about how much total I spent in 2022 and setting goals on spending for books in 2023. And I will see y'all soon. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions, we'll get away.